Let's talk about Backlash last night. And we've already mentioned it a little bit, so we won't go too much in depth with it. But man, for a PLE that I honestly didn't think was going to be a good one, they pulled it out. Like overall, the Backlash pay-per-view delivered. And I just messed up there. I called it a pay-per-view. Most people still do. I can't get used to saying PLEs, and I think everybody else kind of feels the same. But we'll get around to it eventually. The premium live event, the PLE of Backlash, was an overall fun show. From the start match, which arguably was the best match on the card, Io Sky and Bianca Belair freaking killed it. Also on the women's side, I know the match was shorter, but it still was a fun and entertaining match and a heartwarming match for Zelina Vega. Her and Rhea Ripley had a good match. It was what it was supposed to be, and they delivered on their front as well. My only fear now is that we might indeed see the title exchange between Belair and Ripley, since they're both on separate brands and they're holding their respective brands' championships. Unfortunately, it looks like that may be the route we go. You know, I have a better route since we have Night of Champions coming up. How about we just have the two of them face off against each other on like Raw or SmackDown this week or next, and whoever wins, you obviously will win the women's championship, but you'll take the title for the brand that you aren't on, and that title is now forfeited. And boom, you can do a mini tournament again for the women's division of the brand that needs to crown a new women's champion. To me, that's pretty simple, and it's actually a great way to still keep someone established, or you can even have somebody chase the championship as well. So that's just my thought. Take it for what it's worth. Back to the Backlash card. I think the most notable things to talk about from Backlash was the Bad Bunny matchup, which him and Damian Priest absolutely killed. I still have to agree that that probably should have main evented, especially with Bad Bunny being kind of the focal point for the pay-per-view, since he was listed as the host, later turned active wrestler. He delivered again, and it's now got me wondering. I shared something on the 4CP page earlier, and I'll still throw it up here in this. Who do you think's actually the better wrestler between Bad Bunny and Logan Paul? Because both have delivered for WWE over the last couple years. I know for me personally, I think Logan Paul edges out by just a smidge, but both have been phenomenal for WWE, and thank you to both guys who actually, one being an entertainer as in a musician, and then you have another entertainer in the form of a YouTuber. Both have shown that they are fans and they have taken this seriously and delivered. So thank you both for pulling out everything that you have in your WWE tenures. And then the main event that they tried to say was a double main event, but we all know that that means there's a co and then a main event. That still went to Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. I'm still on the Cody Rhodes bandwagon, and I'm so glad that they're kind of focusing away from the title picture. I hope they still keep him away from the world title picture, because there's only one way to finish his story, and that's by him beating Roman. And at this point, it should happen at the latest next year at WrestleMania in Philadelphia, since it is WrestleMania 40, and hopefully both guys stay healthy to where we could get that if that's the route they're going. But props to WWE for the match with him and Lesnar, because it was a good match. It was a fun storytelling match between Lesnar and Rhodes, and I gotta say, maybe some didn't like it. I personally did. Rhodes picking up the win by being trapped in the Kimura and then pushing Lesnar down for the 3 count was awesome. Like, I thought that was so clever and was actually a realistic ending for the match as well. Brock bled again, and you can't take anything away from Lesnar, who arguably is one of the very best, if not the best, at selling and then also giving when he needs to as well. So both guys delivered where they did. The surprise returns also while they were in Puerto Rico, that of Carlito and Savio Vega especially, was exquisite. Loved it in the Bad Bunny match. The LWO was on fire for that area. Like, literally everybody ate them up. It would be very interesting to hear what they did in merchandise numbers for LWO down there for the show.